They don't think you could do it, but tell you to try when they talk. All I hope had to keep it alive. Spend a day in the Bronx, but you wouldn't survive. Can be low when I pop out, they know I've arrived. I go have conversations with Zoe, he gon' tell me pull up and come say what you know. I've been up, I can count all them days in a row. We don't say what we do, we be making the show. They say I'll be
the voice of the Bronx. We have Bronx name, but the guys are out here. Can I get a
yeah? Leave them all right where they at. Try to diss me, I bet I don't even react. Put a show on, I bet you somebody gon' I pick me a book up and drink me some water, invest in the stock. All
right, peace and love, world. Welcome to another episode of Conversation with Zoe. Today we're with the Eyewear Mogul. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment. We got Kadayalee, Washington, Eyewear Mogul, Ms.Make It Happen, NYC, founder, CEO of Kleechi Eyewear. Good to see you, sis. How's everything?
Good. I like that introduction.
Of course. I did my homework.
Kadayalee.
Got you, Kadayalee.
You did good.
I mean, we were almost there, 95%, but I'm gonna make it 100. How's everything going?
Great. I mean, it's a long time coming. We had our report for a while now,
right.
So I'm excited.
Listen, I'm just happy to see us both in motion. So for everybody that didn't get an interview yet, just stay in motion, and we're gonna meet. Our stars will align. You feel me? But sometimes we just gotta be patient and wait our turn. And I'm glad we built the relationship. We kept supporting each other, reposting, checking up on each other, and I really appreciate your consideration of Conversation with Zoe. It always means a lot to share my platform with the culture, with my people. So I'm the shot, never the chaser.
All right, did your research.
Come
exactly.
on, we're gonna get you going.
I'm the shot.
Yeah.
Going into this, I call myself Ms.Make It Happen because I make it happen.
Right.
And I feel like if I can envision it, it could be done.
Facts.
So for the most part, I'm persistent and consistent.
Yes.
And I feel like nobody could deny me that, right? And you got to admire that.
Yes.
So, like you said, we've been persistent with each other. So I'm excited because a lot has happened since my pre-release, my press release. A lot of people have been fucking with it, with the brand. They see it, right? And like I said in my live, I'm not global yet, but I'm gonna be global.
Yes.
Right? So I haven't hit the Pacific or, Atlantic yet, but I'm in the river. But it's definitely moving. And I think that's what's necessary.
Right.
Because although when you think of monopoly, you think of one, but I always say the eyewear industry is monopolized because there's very few who make big bank.
Right.
And I feel like I'm here to take that place, right? Like when you think of Warby Parker, for example, they're not really my competition because Warby Parker's target audience isn't my target.
Right.
I wear my product. I'm negative 13 in eyesight. For those who don't know what that means, I'm blind, like almost.
Right.
So I'm here to make like eyewear cool. Make it cool. Like it's cool to be smart. It's cool to be sexy. Like
absolutely.
It's just that. Like everything is so much sexualized that it's odd. Even now, grown people are, not comfortable wearing glasses, and that's what it is.
Right.
Eyewear with the animation period. Eyewear that tells a story.
Right.
Yeah.
When did you find out you needed glasses?
Chalkboard days. So when I was like 5.
Right.
So by God's design, right? It's actually my grandma's fault. May she rest in peace. I was on a TV at a young age, so I needed glasses. And I don't know how it progressed, but my eyesight got worse and worse.
Right.
I've always, I'm thankful for my parents. I've always kind of been, I've been in baby Dior since I came out the coochie,
Right.
Mommy. But in the same sense, I was always kind of bullied, right? Because glasses was never cool.
Right.
And I was pudgy. So pudgy and glasses, like, don't really mix.
Right.
I've had almost every frame you could think of except Cartier, and I've never had a pair of Cartier frames because my prescription is too thick. So it's not even that, it just can't be done. My ophthalmologist wouldn't do it.
Right.
But I would wear glasses in and out, usually shades, because shades always kind of spoke to my fashion sense.
Right.
I used to wear these Cazelles. I love big frames.
Right.
I used to have niggas in the club like, yo, how much you want for them off your face? And I mean, during college, it just made sense.
Right.
I didn't really know that I wanted to be an eyewear designer until I was in college.
Right. Do you remember your first pair of glasses?
My first, no, I don't remember my first pair. I was 5 years old.
Right. So can you explain the level, like the 20/20 vision? So you have, what vision do you have?
I'm negative 12. So, okay.
12, wow.
Like the average person, I want to say or you can wear glasses and you don't need them and you can go about your day.
Right.
And it's just a little blurry. Like you're probably like -2 to 3. I'm negative 12.
Right.
So like I go to sleep in my glasses. I get in the shower. Sometimes I forget, like I need them.
Right.
I mean, I can see objects.
Right.
Or I can see people.
Right.
I can't see features. I can't see certain words.
Right.
I've thought about LASIK eye surgery, which I'm still debating, but more so for me to be able to wear whatever I want to wear because glasses is my like life.
Right.
Not necessarily just to see, but also I don't even with LASIK eye surgery, I may still need glasses, but just not at the level I'm wearing them.
Right.
So I wouldn't have to necessarily spend as much as I'm spending. Right? Because I need index, I need AR, anti-reflective to not make them look like Coke bottles.
Right.
It's a lot.
Right. So your pops passed away when you were 11.
Yeah, he was killed.
Wow. How did that affect you?
In the moment of being 11 years old, I screamed. I was feeling something because it's what I saw. Yeah. But I don't really know how I felt. But I was a daddy's girl. My dad was in my life. Right. I love him. I love my mom. So they were a big attribute to me. But I think there's sometimes it. I mean, for a little girl not to have a father, it's major. Right. And I think in the Black community specifically, it's almost normalized to not have a father. Right. So when you love your daughter, when people have a father, it's like wow, like you know what I mean. So for me to lose him, it was a lot. I'm loved, and I have my mother, and I have my family, but sometimes it's little things, right? Not having a father can play a role in maybe aspects of dating or certain things like that. But he's still here with me. Right.
But what's your relationship like with your mom?
That's my best friend. Right. She's a bitch sometimes. Right. But she loved me to death.
She's gonna see this.
She's gonna see it. But that's my rock. Right. My mom is my everything. Right. She make it happen. Right.
She's the OG make it happen.
Mom's pretty young. I think my mom was 76, baby. So my mom is like, she tell it like it is. And I think you need that. Right. And there's a lot of women who aren't too involved with their daughters. Right. So my mother, I love you, Ma. Like my mom is she gonna be forever good. So like we're like this.
Right. So one of our first conversations that we had over the phone, you told me that you were a virgin till 17.
Yeah, I was.
Right. And so is that, how does that happen? Even though it's not forever.
Be real, honestly, like remember I said I was chubby. Like I was a chubby little girl. So sex wasn't really in my vibe. Like I was pretty close knit with my family, even though my dad passed. Right. I got everything I wanted. I didn't really need to be outside fucking. Right. Really. I used to be with friends, and I used to remember we would go see like boys, or we would go and tell niggas like, this is my friend Kadayalee, and she's a virgin. I thought that shit was weird. Right. But yeah, I mean, I didn't really see. My mom, honestly, she used to say this. It's always funny. She used to say, you know, if you have kids or if you have a baby early, it's over for you in terms of like the clothes getting fly. She used to say that. I don't know if that stuck with me, but yeah, I don't really.
You wasn't giving up the Dior to be a hoe.
Nah.
Right? I feel it. I feel it. Cheers to that. You know, first toast together. Ocean Hill.
Ocean Hill.
Shout out to the vibe. That's a good toast moment. You know?
Exactly. Smooth.
Followers versus leaders. I feel like that segues into it because you kind of, I'm sure your friends, you know, were probably doing their thing, and you kind of stood on it like, that's not really my vibe. You know, was that hard for you?
In terms of what, sex?
In terms of sex, in terms of being outside, being Tatianas, all that.
I've always been kind of weird, if you want to call it weird. Right. I've always been in my own like
I like
thing.
The word unique.
Yeah, unique. I've always
been. You a mogul now, so you know what I'm saying. I'm sure your friends ain't, you know, where they at.
They trying to be around.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe they got to make sense if you're around.
That's a fact.
But I mean, I've always kind of been in my own like lane. I've been. Whatever I say I'm gonna do, I've kind of mostly executed it. Right. At one time, in terms of what I wanted to do, I've always kind of straying off from sex. Like, there's a lot of shit I wanted to do. Like, I wanted to be an entertainment lawyer at one point. I wanted to fucking work on Wall Street. I knew there was something, but I've always been. It's always been easier for me to express myself through words. Right. I've never been an A straight A student, but I've always been AP English, and anything that has to do with literature, it's been easier for me.
Right.
Math and stuff like that has been harder.
Right.
So I learned throughout the years, like I'm kind of more energizer. Even
Right.
now, like I'm trying to slow down the way I speak because I speak a little fast. And for most people, even if they don't comprehend what I'm saying or if it's too fast, something about it, they kind of come to it like a moth in the light.
Right.
They're attracted to it. And not in a sense of just attraction, like visually, but they like it. It's infatuation, maybe it's different.
Right.
But I'm trying to express my thoughts sometimes in my words, but I feel like it's better with the things that I do and
Right.
kind of actually making it suffice.
Right.
So with sex was never really for what? Like it didn't really make sense for me.
Right. So then when you lost it, what made you lose it?
Peer pressure.
Right. You regret it?
Yeah, I wasn't like in love. It wasn't
Right.
amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen him again?
Excuse me?
Have you ever seen him again?
Yeah, I was talking. I mean, he's a little older than me, but we were talking.
How much older?
17, 20s.
He was in his 20s.
Yeah.
See, that's so common though. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why I like to invite, because we see it as men, right?
Mhm.
And it's always kind of like, bro, like, but that's their vibe. But it's usually at that age where, that I'm 18, but this guy's 22, 23 with a car,
Mhm.
and he got a job, he got a little motion, and it's just like, bro, like, I just graduated high school, I'm trying to go to college, you know what I mean? Like, he got a lot more motion than I do. So girls skip that age and go 25, 26, and they're like 17.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the sad part.
Right.
And I never lied about my age though. When
Yeah.
I was younger, I noticed
You
like,
ain't had to lie about your age.
your men would just be
was
able
with
like,
it, regardless.
I think I'd be like, I'm young, and they'd
Right.
just be like, they
That's
wouldn't
their
give a fuck.
vibe. They feel like they could groom you. They could show you a couple things. Give you a couple dollars. Give you a ride to school, whatever. Or pick you up, whatever. I've seen it. Like niggas be around high schools all the time. I'm like, bro, like this is weird. There's a lot of weird energy. But it's a common thing. And yeah, the Piper. Where was he at? High schools.
Stupid.
You know what I mean? So, what was college like for you? What college did you go to?
I went to 2 colleges. I went to some like CUNY. It was called Baruch. I'm lying. I'm sorry. It was Gutman. And then I went to Kingsborough. And it was for business. I was a business major. I dropped out. I didn't finish
Right.
it. Not because it wasn't for me.
Right.
But I'm 28. Had I known what I know now, like I would have went for accountant, or I would have been an ophthalmologist, right? Ophthalmologist turned
Right.
mogul. That shit sound crazy.
Right. Fire.
Right? To be a 30-year-old doctor, that's great. But realistically, that's not what I want to do and what I would have wanted to do. But accountant, I feel like is necessary for business, whether you go to school or not, but knowing numbers, because you need to know, right, what you're making. You need to know numbers besides the creativity. And that's what I kind of think sucks, or what people should know. Because
Right.
most creatives, like, we're innovative and stuff, but when it comes to the business, you don't really get too invested in that, and that's where you get fucked.
Right.
So knowing numbers and knowing how and why and things like that in the back end of things is really important.
Right.
So I'm utilizing more of that, and while still being innovative, right? Because no matter how much you're making, you should still know the numbers.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay.
So we didn't finish. So what was next after that? So now we're like early 20s, 22, 23. What's going on in your life then?
I started sketching like in my second year of college when I was like 19. How I came in with the idea, I was on a train one day and I just was like, at this time I was buying glasses, like shades, like every 3 to 4 months, because it just went with my vibe.
Right.
And I was like, I was in college, so I'm like, I want to do business, but I don't know what. And I just saw eyes, not even glasses. I saw eyes on the train, the A train. I was on J Street. And I just went home and I started sketching. And probably like a week after, I started talking to my mom about it, and she's always been supportive, but probably like girl, like whatever.
Right.
And I was like, I want to design glasses. Like, it makes sense. Like, I want to design glasses, right? So I started sketching different frames. I started coming up with names. Originally, the name was going to be 1976 Mod, after my mom's year that she was born. And I imagined my store next to Tiffany's, and I was like, nah, it sounds like an address. It's not enough. And I was playing with like a list of names.
Right.
So the name is Kleechi. My name is Kadayalee. My
Right.
mom's name is Cherise. So it's me and my mother's name blended.
Fire.
It's simple, it's short. And when you think of any brand, luxury specifically, you think of it's bold, it's simple, it's never in cursive or script, or
Right.
it's easy to understand, to read, and it's usually
Right.
short.
Right.
Like Kleechi.com. I had my domain for 7 years.
Right.
Website, I owned that. I didn't tell nobody, whatever. And then, you know, the name,
Right.
LLC, and then Trademark. I trademarked my brand like 3 years ago.
Right.
And I did all this from YouTube, right?
Right.
YouTube is a real university.
Very resourceful.
Yeah, because I feel like if you in Google, anything you want to know is pretty much there.
Right.
Until you hit a certain point, and then you kind of need mentorship.
Right.
But there's not a lot of people I feel like you can access or utilize when it comes to mentorship, because it's not like you can go usually to a family or a friend and say, how did you get from this to this, right? Or how'd you touch 6 figures or 7 figures? How'd you do 10,000 a month? Like, most people don't know.
Right.
So when you say certain things to them, sometimes I feel like most people are pessimistic, but maybe it's not pessimistic. Maybe they're just, their idea of being realistic to me is pessimistic, because
Right.
everything to me is possible.
Right.
So,
I mean, they say at the top there's collaboration, at the bottom there's competition. You know, so you and I are collaborating right now for the first of many times. We're with Ocean Hill, collaborating for the first of many times. So many people, they don't want to help, or they don't want to feel like, well, no one told me, well, no one helped me, you know, and they kind of live with that, and they're like, you know what, I'm not going to give anything to anyone. You know, no one gave me anything. But knowing that they've had collaboration at later parts in their life, just not when they wanted it.
yeah.
And in reality, you know, you don't get everything when you want. That's life.
Mhm.
You know, so for you to be a person that invested in themselves, took your shot, shot your shot. Like, how do you feel about women begging on the internet?
What do you mean begging?
I mean, we see it, dinners, this is my Cash App link.
Oh,
you know, like,
I don't like it.
right.
See, I've noticed lately a lot of people. Well, honestly, my whole life, but I say lately more so now. More so men. When I speak, sometimes I've had on multiple occasions tell me that I'm cocky or I'm arrogant, and I think that's crazy, because I'm not. I'm humble.
Right.
I'm aggressive, but I'm assertive. But in terms of like what you just said, right? There's women who are begging and saying this and that, and these men will be the same men to when, if they wanted to be disrespectful, they could, and they are.
Right.
So when you're not begging and you have something to offer and you have a brain and you can talk like this, most men don't like that.
Right.
But for me, I don't care, right? So for women who do that, I do think it's a little degrading. And it makes it hard, and sometimes it sucks, because it's like, with business-wise, and I'm grateful for, I would consider it ambassadorship for men like Fabulous, right? Who supported my brand, and we built a rapport of something that just went like that. Mr. Chicken, people, and I was hungry. This is me like reaching out, like, this is what I do. And we didn't fuck, we didn't do any of that. He just saw the vision. And did he have to post once, 2, 3, 4, 5 times? No. But he did, right? And then you have other people who maybe they just don't want to fuck with her. Maybe they feel like they don't have to. Who the fuck are you, right? But then, and who am I? I don't own a strip club. But then when you think of stuff like that, these niggas go to the club and whatever, or they'll pay for pussy, or they'll do this stuff instead of whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, why? But I mean, that adds to the story and that adds to character. So for women who do that, I guess that's just them. But like I said, it just takes away from you being able to, not necessarily having to talk slick, but you just really can't talk like that, right? You can't be as boss-like as you would like. Because when it comes to it, I feel like most men don't look at women as bosses, because in business in general, it's male dominated. So to have a woman, like, you know, be persistent, it's almost hypnotizing. It's like, wow, right? Or it can be like a lion at it. Like, they may be infatuated in the beginning, but then it may become competition, and you're like, well, we're not even in the same field. But that's what it seems like, almost. right? It seems like competition when it's different sexes, but when you with your mans, it's not competition. But I don't understand because there's more than enough green to go around.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you feel like men are harder on women or women are harder on other women?
I feel like women are harder on women.
Right. And once again, right?
Very tasty, cheesy, oniony, all of the above.
One word to describe it, scrumptious, right? We from the town, so we just gonna say pause first, but it melts in your mouth. You just love it. You know what I'm saying? I wear this shirt to sleep. How much I love 7th Street Burger, man. It's near and dear to my heart. You see the logo? It's near to my heart. That's how we do it, man. Peace. Cancel culture, you just can't come out and blurt these things out and say things. But from observation, you know, I do see that the whole women empowerment movement is kind of, it's not as real as they say it is, you know, and most women being cutthroat or downsized or violated is mostly by another woman, you know. So I just mind my business, stay on my side, but it's like, damn, like when I do interview a woman, and I would like to bring that up. So from your perspective, why do you feel that women are harder on women?
I just feel like it's from more of a judgmental and competitive place.
Okay.
So for you to kind of find another woman that kind of sees the same thing as you and not look at you as if you're competition is a gem. It's dope. But I don't know why it is, but probably vanity.
Right.
Right? Because you're looking at whatever aspect instead of just saying, wow, like this is like dope or this is like it. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
let's work together. And it's so weird. Like they're not even like gay. It's just they're probably thinking about maybe the male perspective of you. So even if they would have liked you, but now you're walking in the room, they're thinking about what the man is thinking.
Right.
But honestly, I've never really experienced personally with me too much because I feel like I have gifts. I can get informal with people pretty quick, both sexes. And more so from a playful way, but even if I'm serious, for some reason, what I can do compared to how somebody else may talk to somebody, they may not take it that way.
Right.
I don't know what, maybe it's my face. I don't know. And not even from like a vanity point, but just from, I don't know how to explain it, but
Right.
I can get informal and I am in sales. I've been selling like my whole life. I was selling when I was in college. I was selling nutcrackers at Webster Hall.
That's a fact. Let's get to it.
I was selling candy. I feel like in any business or just in general, if you have kids, I feel like you should make your kids sell something because it makes you confident to talk to people.
Right.
Some people I notice doesn't matter what tax bracket they're in. I can tell when people are uncomfortable, whether it's in the camera or talking to people or
Right.
whatever. And you have to communicate with people.
Right.
There's very few people. I mean, you can be successful and be an introvert, but
Right.
I think being an introvert is kind of like a coping mechanism.
Right.
Because people are naturally extroverts.
Right.
To me.
Right. What was your nutcracker recipe? Do you remember?
I used to sell. This is what it was. I was pitching that it was Henny. What was it?
You wasn't selling Henny?
I mean, I had to make the profit.
Yeah, right.
So I was like doing Henny Punch and it was, no, Casamigos wasn't in back then.
Right.
It was like Henny Punch and some other shit. And I had to get it wasn't Cavassier. It was like some other cheap
So
shit.
you wasn't selling Henny?
I was,
okay.
I was mixing it with Hennessy.
Okay. It was a splash of Henny.
Yo, I remember
you were selling a splash of Henny.
No.
Right.
Yeah, I used to get this container, wash, like clean it with like fucking ammonia, clean it out, and I would pour that shit with Hawaiian Punch. Make that shit simple.
Right.
And I had this True Religion duffel bag. And I used to take the L train to 3rd Avenue. And I used to make like $350, $400. And to me, that was good going into party because I didn't spend it.
That's a
but
fact.
I was like, I used to go and I used to be cool with the bouncers. And I was like, bro, there's mad people on this line. I don't know how it came. Oh, I was selling nutcrackers on Eastern Parkway. And I was like, I might as well just whatever. And that's how it went. And people used to wait on the line used to be crazy. So I'd be like, they need to drink before they go in. It was white people, whatever. And I'd be like, yo, I got 10, 15. I think I do 15 if they act cheap, $10.
Right.
And then I would go to TD Bank because across the street, deposit my friends.
Yep,
but then I used to tell
yep.
friends, I'd be like, yo, like, come out with me. I just need you to stand next to the bag. I'll give you $50. You stand next to the bag. We're going to party anyway.
Right.
niggas would be like, I remember I had this one friend, I forgot her name, but you were cool. And I used to be like, yo, come, whatever. She was like, yeah. We went 30 minutes. I swear to God.
Yeah, I believe
This
it.
bitch walked up to me like, you don't gotta pay me. Let me just drink. Let me just get the
Right.
drinks. And then after 30 minutes, she was
Yeah.
buzzed. And I'm like, bro, you're not watching the merchandise. I'm like, oh my God.
Right.
You're not watching the merchandise. And I'm like, that's when and I had another friend I asked and she wasn't with it. But I just realized that not everybody is, it's not even money driven. I don't know what, I didn't need money. Like I just wanted money. Like I just wanted something about selling and being able to persuade people to buy your product or whatever it is. It's very
I don't know. You get a rush out of it. It's addictive.
Yeah.
You get a rush out of it. It just feel good knowing that you put it together.
Mhm.
You advocated for yourself. You sold it. You got money in your pocket. Like seeing like I put up 160.
And they were happy. They were asking about me. They were like,
yeah.
yo, where the girl with the glasses? So I'm saying, girl with the glasses with the nutcrackers.
So why I bring that up is because I sold nutcrackers in college.
You did?
Right. And after my freshman year when my dad got sick, he's like, oh bro, like you gotta figure this out. You know, so I sold weed for one day. That was 420. It was easy. It was 420. Everybody in college getting high, whatever. Mm-hmm. But the paranoia, like, do my room stink right now? What if they do
was in a mini
room
ghost
check?
moment?
Like, oh man, like yeah, like this is. I'm walking back to. I'm skipping classes just to stay in the room, right? So I'm playing mini men. I think I'm in a trap, and I'm like, yo, bro, this is not your vibe, bro. This is not you. So I'm like, the next best thing is I'm lit. Everybody want to know where I'm at. So let me sell nutcrackers, and that's what I did. I made a killing. I was shipping to the homies.
Shipping? Oh,
yeah.
that's
So
different.
if you put,
level.
Yeah, if you put cardboard in between the bottles, it don't shake. As long as it don't rattle, don't shake. You know what I'm saying? You go to the post office. Are you selling liquids? No. You know what I mean? Just no. Ship it. And the bros, they wholesale it. So I would sell it wholesale to them because they're the bros. So they could make some. That's how much money I was making. So I want them to. I was making like $700 a week. Right? And but I would wholesale it to them so they could like flip it. So I would sell it for like $3 a bottle. I'll send them 20 of them. And then y'all sell it for 10 up there. Cause they was like in bigger schools. They were like Syracuse and Albany and all of that. But yeah, I got told on, but I just walked away from it. I had a little community service. Was no big deal. You know what I mean?
You have to do time for that? Or community service?
On campus, community service. You know what I mean? You was cool. I was cool with the lunchroom people. So it was like come, sign in, leave, come back. You know what I mean? And that was it. But you know, I had to figure it out. Like it was either am I gonna feel sorry for myself or my daddy can't help me no more? Or am I gonna figure something out? So that hustles and mentality and push yourself, like that came from that. So that's how I treat the podcast. I'm gonna just push, I'm gonna find a way and I'm gonna keep pushing and I'm gonna get some motion. So for anybody that approaches you or anybody else and is insecure, like just get some motion. Like you need to be living in you in your purpose. That's why life is going your way. So if you're not in your purpose, you feel like life is strangling you a little bit. Yeah. You know, but it's just that you just not doing what you're meant to be doing here, you know? So you gotta get out your own way. So now we're drawing glasses, we're sketching. So now it's like, when do we start to turn it into a business?
I was a business on paper at 2017, August.
Nice.
I launched 2019 and I did a fashion week. For me, so I've done a couple pop-ups, but I've never done too many. And my aspect of why is because usually when the idea of pop-up shop, it was always, I don't want to use the word ghetto, but incorporating my glasses that are custom with weed and different things, it just never went. So I always kind of did my own thing. So my first ever pop-up was September, I think it was like so many years ago. It was Fashion Week in September. Right. And it was in like the ABC area of Manhattan. Right. And it was dope. And then I made it, I made a couple, I've definitely always made my profit back. Right. But being real, the first manufacturers I reached out to, which everybody would assume was Italian manufacturers, Greek manufacturers. And they, from this design that I'm wearing, I've had this sketch for over 5 years. And they've always said it's too innovative. They've also said our production time is 4 months. They've also said their English is not good. Their response time through email is bad. But I've tried them. I've also tried Asian manufacturers and it went. So up until recently, which was like last year, I've sat on my sketches because these are custom designs and each design tells a story. Right. Right. So even like, and I go to Cartier, I say them because they are the mecca, especially in our community culture. When you think of you know, our people like to talk our shit.
Right.
It's a band on my face. Niggas like
Right.
talking like that. Well, do you know the backstory on the frames you wearing? They don't.
Right.
So for me, each design tells a story. So I make custom archetype glasses. So for people who don't know, and you go to my official Kleechi Instagram on my website, and it looks like it's one design. There's multiple designs, but
Right.
I'm one. Now I have a team, but
Right.
I'm one woman business, right?
Right.
So I like to think of my glasses in terms of the same way you would think of apparel.
Right.
So how I have it my way would be 8 to 10 designs off of one collection. The current collection is based off of mythology
Right.
from West African and Greek gods. And right now it looks like one design, but this one design is moving and it's custom. The same way you would think of those big stupid red boots.
Right. Right. Right.
Right? So this archetype is the creative, and the person I imagine wearing the glasses is just that.
Right.
So the entrepreneur who is in love with fashion, the artist, the rapper, the singer, the art teacher.
Right.
Right. I have designs called the professional, which I'm dropping next, but the professional, the romantic. And if you're as creative as me, you can imagine what that looks like.
Right.
But there's a story behind it. Right. So like the Greek god Helios represents the sun. So my logo is the sun because I feel like I represent the sun. I represent light
Right.
and a sense of imagination that's different.
Right.
But my patent is the lightning bolt. So when you see the lightning bolt, you know that's Kleechi,
Right.
right? And going against or again against these big corporations, it's a lot, but that's why I have to make my motion. And Kleechi is an asset because it's appreciating products and it's appreciated in value.
Right.
So the goal is to kind of get it global.
Right.
While still having a community. So when people buy from me, they've purchased from me more than once, they're comfortable with buying and telling people. I've had people that purchased one and then they referred me and they purchased two and they've
Right.
spent, close to a band. So it's like they see, you know what I mean?
Right.
And if you Google any of the brands with glasses, you'll see that they use plastic. I don't use plastic. I use acetate, which is durable quality.
Right.
My metal is transparent and it's heavy, but it's not heavy on the face.
Right.
Because I also design for people like me who need glasses.
Right.
And my prescription in itself is heavy. So in all of that, when you put them on, it's like different.
Right.
So my glasses come with a story. Most people who wear, other brands, they may have a story. People don't know it. And
Right.
the story behind it is not that enticing, honestly. Right. Can anyone really sit here and tell you why they're in love with Cartier glasses besides it's buffalo horn, but they don't even know really about buffalo horn or anything besides that.
Right.
There are brands that I would like to collaborate with because I think they need a new sense of creative direction, but I don't want to say them in a sense where it could hurt my brand. But
Right.
A lot of brands, they're billion-dollar corporations, but at the same time they break even. So I'm looking to expand Kleechi into something different because I'm the Steve Jobs of eyewear and I'm going to be bigger than Apple, right?
Talking shit. I'm here for that. I'm saying I'm here for that 100%. So how do you choose who to partner or who to work with? Like, because Kleechi is your baby, it's your brand. So then now you have a team, and how did those people end up on your team?
So, first question, in terms of partnership. So in terms of with this one, the archetype is creative. So it made sense to partner with creative people, right?
Right.
And a lot of my clientele, in terms of if you want to, with the influence, have been artists. And I've had some people kind of tell me like, well, maybe you shouldn't like just partner with rappers. And maybe they're saying it from whatever way. It could be a good way or whatever.
Right.
But I design eyewear for the culture. So if that's what it looked like, if you go on my page and it just looks like black and brown, those are the people that's spending bread.
Right.
But I've also had people who are not black and brown who want the brand, who've purchased the brand, or they're trying to work with my brand.
Right.
But for this specific design, that's just what made sense.
Right.
So any creative type, if it made sense for the brand and they were expressive in that way, then it made sense to partner with them, right? Like currently I have Kleechi, a vision so sweet you could almost taste it.
Right.
So the black is sold out actually, which is called Titan, and Arcadia is the red vermilion color. And I'm actually Brooklyn area and New York City area, October 28th. I am having a color reveal of the new colorways for the creative archetype at the bakery on Bergen Street.
Right.
Well, it's the bakery on Bergen, but it's on
Right.
Bergen Street. And it's super cool because people eat with their eyes.
Right.
So if you see it in that way, people eat with their eyes. So to kind of incorporate something sweet and decadent, and then you get to kind of find out or explore a colorway that you're already excited about. Like people are writing like, yo, what's the color? Like I want to know.
Right.
Because they're limited.
Right.
So black is sold out. I'm not going to say the colors. You'll find out October 28th. If you're not in New York or the tri-state area, you can go to Kleechi, or you can go to the website actually that day, and you'll enter and subscribe your email, and you'll find out the colorways. But it's going to be so dope. 740 Bergen Street, Brooklyn, New York. But in terms of that's who I kind of connect with. But sorry, say the second part of your question.
So how did people end up on your? How do you choose the people that you put on your team?
So, and I'm kind of proud to say this, but I'm 5 years in, and they say it takes 10 years to build a brand.
Right.
Not a business, but a brand.
Right.
So, my creative director, Monique Rebel Jones, I love her because we have not known each other for years, but this is the first person I've ever been around who just seen it. And I'm a capitalist and I'm an opportunist. But anytime I see an opportunity, I like to say what I can do first for the person before I take, right? So her, and she started as a client. So funny. And I do so much because I'm the CEO, I'm the accountant. I have a 9 to 5.
Right.
Keep it real, right? People want the bread and butter.
Right.
I do this, I do
gotta
that.
Pay your
So
bills.
I'm
You gotta
doing so
survive.
much. I don't really get a chance to put 100% of myself into something. And she started off as a client, and I remember dropping because I was hot. I was selling in person like every day a couple weeks ago, but then I had like some of my recent event that I had. But long story short, she brought a pair, and we chopped it up. She was talking to me, but I wasn't really listening because And then she said it again. She pretty much hit me like, this is what I can do. She has a BA. She's going to school currently for MBA. She has 2 kids and she has a husband. And I'm saying this to say that I am still working a 9 to 5, but my brand is going to be $1 billion brand. And I mean that when I say that. So for somebody to see the vision and to have a bachelor's degree and say, yo, I want to work with you. This is what I could do. Obviously, you see me as an opportunity, shit going to pop. And I respect that because you come into me with something that you could do. And for that, I fuck well. So also, we just have the same variability in terms of how we think. I feel like I'm more of an energizer bunny. And when I say things, people get me or they'll try to get me. But I move faster than the average person. But she's got me to learn that I move at the speed that God want me to move at.
Right.
I'm the creative. I'm the innovator. I'm not the photographer, my dope ass photographer SYB.
Right.
I'm not, I'm not these things. I'm not Ocean Hill, dope ass Brandy. I'm Kadayalee, and I'm the innovator. I'm the designer. So for me to kind of try to play so many fields, that's what's kind of staggering me.
Right.
So that just made sense. I also have people coming to me like, yo, I go to school right now. I want to intern. I'm in computer automation. But I say that to say, I pick my team now off of what they can do and how it makes sense, right? Because if you can see Kleechi is going to be this brand, but that I'm still chasing the ducats, like, right? Then you know that you kind of got to put in some sweat equity. And when you put in that sweat equity, Jeff Bezos started off with 5. I don't know how long, I forgot how long they worked for him, but they wasn't getting paid. I think 2 to 4 years, maybe less. I think it was 2 to 5 years though, but they're all billionaires. Right. So that 2 to 5 years you put in, right?
Right.
So Warby Parker, for example, it's 5 white men that wear glasses and they use their trust funds or whatever. And they made a brand and it's dope.
Right.
But our brands is 2 separate things. These is for people reading glasses and different. My glasses tell a story. See, I hit the souls of people first and what they want, and then I hit their pockets after. Because when you touch my brand, just looking at it, like when you see these things, I cried when I got my prototype.
Right.
Because it was like a baby.
It's a win. It feels so good.
It felt good. I called my mom, I was crushed. That's something happened to me. I'm like, I'm just like, it's different because this is what I wanted. And if it was just for money, I think I would have stopped a long time ago.
Facts.
I've spent thousands.
Me too.
More than 20, like 20, 30,000.
Right.
And to kind of have people kind of believe in you. And I go back to Fab, or I say Mr. Chicken, but there's other ones, but I say him specifically because he's an A-list celebrity and he didn't have to do what he did. And we have a rapport and we have that connection where he gets it, right? And anybody in the culture knows that, Fabulous is an icon don when it comes to fashion.
Right.
But besides him, in terms of women and in terms of glasses, it's not popular. When you think of glasses, it's not the thing to wear besides the ones that I'm saying.
Right.
Even the Biggie frames, Versace, which I love them, Donatella. I feel like, I mentioned it earlier, but I think I'm doing more homage than negativity. I love them, but in terms of that iconic frame, I think a new innovative way of creative direction is due.
Okay.
And something or somebody like me could kind of take it to the next level. But then that's where it becomes tricky, because if you think about any big brand right now, all their creative directors are of ethnic background. Yeah.
Right.
Louis Vuitton, Balmain. I don't know who Cartier's creative director is, but when it comes to, they're more of a staple. I don't think they really try to be innovative,
Right.
which is their mistake.
Right.
Because I'm hungry, and I'm willing to kind of prescribe past me, because when I die, Kleechi's gonna surpass me. I don't want it to die when I die.
Right.
Right.
I'm with you. That's powerful. Powerful. And I want you to meet my niece someday. My goddaughter. Like, this is listen, we all like once again, as men, we can't fly out the wall saying things, but we all listen, we're gonna see more Michelles. You know what I mean? We're gonna see more businesswoman oriented, but Cardi's one in a million. We all can't be Cardi.
Mm-hmm.
But Miss Washington, Kleechi, we could build more of those. Like, that's more attainable than hitting the pole, loving hip hop. And I'm not downing Cardi at all.
Mm-hmm.
But all I'm saying is that we all can inspire to be that. Because that's not like, she hit her purpose. Like, she got her opportunity and went off. What's his name? DJ Self. He was like, I'm not jacking that. You know what I mean? And he dropped the ball on that. And now she's bigger than we could all think of. But my whole thing is, realistically, we have young women going to high school, aspiring to go to college, getting an education. It's just like, don't sell yourself short because you want to go entertain people in the club and you don't have nothing to speak for yourself,
Exactly. I think it's self-respect.
Right.
And just knowing your purpose.
Right.
So yeah, sex probably sells, but I think there's different ways to be sexy. You can be sexy with a turtleneck.
Right.
Right. So it's just, like I said, like that aspect is different, and nobody's really pushing the envelope on that, because eyewear in general is $1 billion business.
Right.
But and it's crazy because being smart is almost cool now. Right?
It has to be.
It has to be, and it's like
is.
Knowledge is cool, but there's so much that we have so much power, and my brand is a global brand. So I'm not aiming for just Black people. I'm not aiming for just brown people. When people hear my story, it doesn't matter. I'm a part of the Chambers of Commerce, and I became a member because I did this interview and with BK Reader. Shout out to BK Reader. And after that interview, it's crazy. Like, you'd be surprised how much people actually read digital content. I was reached out by the mall, by Kings Plaza, by Green Acres, the VP director of Chambers of Commerce, and the VP herself, Dina. She's super dope, but she was like, I want you to do this. I did the program, it's an entrepreneurship program, and they love me and I love them. And that aspect of just being able to kind of accomplish something is not just for Blacks, right? But when you go to my brand, and I'm saying that again because I've had people tell me that, like, right? Maybe you should kind of, because I mean, if you go to my brand and you go below and you do your research and you go down, you see that there was Caucasians, there was different people, but this is just what moved,
Right.
and that's why I'm kind of moving like that. But things are going to grow, and
Right.
I don't want to say change, but it's going to be different because I'm setting the tone for creative connection, and I'm setting the tone for authenticness.
Right.
I don't know if that's a word, but
Right.
authenticity
Right.
and being yourself. And like, out of the world, probably 60% of the world wear glasses or need glasses from whatever reason, from phones, from TV, for whatever. And it's just like, it's just so a part of your life
Right.
that it's like the average person, you can ask whatever you are. When tomorrow, ask 5 people you come across, yo, you need glasses? Just be like, and they probably be like, yeah, but like I don't wear them or whatever.
Right.
And then maybe ask them why.
Right.
Some shit is ugly, or because I don't know. But if they had a pair like Kleechi, they would be wearing it because it's
Right.
almost just like, no, it is in that level of
Right.
it's custom. It's a story behind it, right?
Right.
And when you wear it, niggas ask, yo, where's my shit?
Right.
Niggas brought a pair already. They're like, yo, I think somebody stole my glasses. Like, you have
Right.
another? No, I don't have it. But
Right.
you know, you could drop. Well, what's the next color? That's, you spent more than $6 with a brand. You're
Invested.
you're invested.
Right.
You want to see them win. And I don't agree with people when they say, I do think that there's a lot of crab in the barrel minded people, but I don't believe that we don't want each other to win, because when we on something, we on it.
Right.
And when we support it, we support it. But sometimes they do take a little bit of follow the leader, which sucks.
Right.
But that's with any brand. Like I said, people wasn't really drinking Reposado Don Julio 4
Right.
months ago like they are now.
Right.
But when you go to the club, so you see. And it's more so to impress other people. It's weird, like, right? Because
Yeah,
niggas
it's
get
mad
Patron or like
It's mad weird.
Ciroc.
And
What is that?
you gotta
Ciroc.
do like this when they bring the bottle. Bless it like this. You know what I mean?
You'd
Listen,
be like, what is that?
Can I have a moment?
Yeah.
Listen, fellas. We grown now. You know what I mean? You got kids, got responsibilities. And one thing I see all the time is when you talk about the price of education, too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
When you add up all the designer, everything else, you find a way. So sometimes with us black and brown, we sometimes hold ourselves back because we're not willing to invest in our tomorrow.
Mhm.
We just want to worry about today,
Yeah.
right? So for the fellas on Instagram, for the homies that I know, not saying no name, I told you to see your face, so this is no slight, but it looks crazy that for 27 days it's lit, and then you need $300 for your rent.
Mm.
Like, that's old, bro. You know what I mean? Stay home a couple nights, buy a bottle and chill. You know what I mean? You want to get drunk, stay in your house. But you outside spending thousands of dollars. You don't got a passport. You know what I mean? Your baby mama hates you. And that's because of how you move, my brother. So you got to move more correct. You know what I mean?
Buying a bottle with no motion is just crazy. I had somebody
It
tell
don't
me.
feel right. It's uncomfortable.
Crazy.
I'd rather drink Ocean Hill and chill. Yeah?
Oh.
You know what I mean? That's
Like
what I'm going
that.
to do. You know what I mean?
Ocean Hill and chill. Shout out to Ocean Hill.
That's a fact.
Careless. But on what you said, and see, even you, because you get it, and you have a family, so I
Right.
guess, your partner understands that. But as I've noticed, in terms of dating specifically, but like, people have to kind of understand your lifestyle, right? If you're outside, just to be outside, it's why? What are you celebrating?
Right.
But for me, in a sense, because I'm from the culture and I'm getting it out the mud, in a sense, right? Because I don't have these just to spend. It makes sense to be outside. Why I'm outside, right? So if
Right.
you're outside and you're getting to it, it makes sense. Me just sitting in the section, regardless if I'm in a section or not, for what? Getting my brand out there is the
Right.
ultimate goal.
Right.
Getting to network, because in business, everything is personal. It's always personal in business. I don't know who would like to disagree, but that's just a fact. Separating emotions from business is one thing. And I think being a woman, men specifically, already think that you have your emotions involved, which sucks. But you can play that, women, because you don't have to have your emotions involved, but men are going to already think you have your emotions involved, which sucks on your end,
Right.
being a man, because it's like, why does that have to be? But everything is it's connection, because if I call you and I tell you I got this idea or whatever, and we already have that rapport, we have this friendship or relationship, you're likely to do what I want or do what I ask or agree or, entertain the idea,
Right.
considering we have that relationship.
Right. I would say, and I tell this, I'm a dean, I'm an assistant dean at a high school in Dykeman. And I talk to all the kids the same. So man or woman, I say, listen, make sure you move off facts, not emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Stick to the facts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you could hold yourself accountable, you first of all, class started 10 minutes ago. That's a fact. You know what I mean? You in the hallway, that's a fact. And you ain't go to class today. That's a fact. So what are you really mad about? Are you really mad I called your mom? Or you mad you got caught? So they're like, damn, man, Mr. B, you right, man. You know what I mean? So
I
it's like,
love my deans, and their deans get it. I don't know what it is, but deans are.
You got to be in tune. You got to be in tune with how they move and build relationship with them, and then you're gonna get more out of building a relationship with every child than you are trying to just come off on. I'm a big guy. You know what I mean? So if I'm talking to you firm and crazy, you might be like, "Yo, this is really intimidating." But if I introduce myself to you, I let you slide. You got to let them think they getting away with something. But when I do reprimand you, you're going to have to, hopefully you respect it. Like, damn, like, he did see me doing X, Y, and Z this day.
Yeah.
And you know what? All right, you got it. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping to build these relationships and have them understand, like, yo, listen, I'm not out here to punish you. I'm here to celebrate you as well. We're going to have a lit school year. You know what I'm saying? So Women's Month, you got to pull up to the school. You know what I mean?
So, I'm down to do 10 minutes if you let me get 10 minutes.
I got you.
I'm so serious.
Dr. Tate, my principal, Black strong woman, educated, you know what I mean?
I actually spoke to the Fashion Institute, and I spoke to South Shore High School, which was really dope because it's, like I said, it's cool. So them seeing, I'm pretty young, 28, but they're like, wow, you know what I mean? So having that aspect of a young woman or a person of color in general, just get into it in business, it's cool. It's different. It's like, wow, right?
Right.
It's just not, and I love the culture. I love music, but it's not just rappers. It's cool to be smart in business, right? Like my sister goes to Drew University. She's lazy. I love her to death. She's smart as fuck. And I'm like, yo, you're good at this. You do your wigs, you do all this, but she does not have an entrepreneur spirit. But I'm like, you're good at math. You need to do accounting, financing.
Right.
Part of me wants her to work for my business. She'll be a millionaire.
Family
but
business.
I'm not saying just work for me. But anyway, she was with the idea, and then my mom told me she wants to do something else. But I'm like, all right, cool. As long as you haven't because she has a scholarship. I'm like, you're smart. You need to get with it. But just that alone, my goal is to build a fashion house. Beyond Kleechi, but beyond eyewear, but that's later on. But just that we don't have any Black fashion houses, luxury. LVMH, Rihanna's a part of that. She's a billionaire, but she didn't create a fashion house. Dapper Dan, I thought he would have created his own thing, but he's under Gucci. And like I said, if you notice the pattern, working for these brands, Denim Tears, I don't know his name, but I think he worked with Supreme, and he got out of it because they just started changing things. So it's like, even if like a brand was to say, yo, we'll give you 7 figures a year, this and that, they'll try to somehow control your brand. So it's up to you to do that research in the contract or whatever. But look at every big brand. There is a Black face behind the brand, directing it, curating it.
We make shit lit. You know? A fact. Every single time. No matter what the style is, no matter how you try to, if you look at the origin of the style and the drip, it comes from us. You know, so if you want to get it lit, like people, what's the other one? The Kazazu, you know, ding, 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 you know, the white bottle with the blue.
Classy Azul.
Yeah, you know, like, that's us. You feel me? Like, I care about that shit. You know, but we in the pandemic, and, you know, we popping it on the block, and now we in the club, and, you know, 1942, like you said. And it's all a waste of time, all a waste of money, and we're not investing in our future. If you're under 30 or still, you know, get some life insurance. It's not that expensive. You can get a term. For 80. When you get your money up, you switch to the whole life.
$30 a month.
You know, then you want a funeral when you ain't leave nothing for your kids. You know what I mean? So if you're a parent and you ain't got life insurance, you're selfish. You feel me? I don't want to hear it. That's it. You know, we don't got to go.
I'm talking about people into that now. Some of them, you know what it is? I think in the Black and brown community,
you
talking about death.
That's my
they're like, what are you trying to like plot against me? Like, I'm like, bro, no. Like, if that happens to you, you're leaving. See, I told my family, and I don't care. I want a mausoleum.
Right.
I think it started at 100,000. A
Right.
mausoleum. I think Pablo Escobar had one. I don't
Right.
care. That's what I want.
Right.
If it, I'll write in my will what I want. But I want a mausoleum. When you walk in my shit, it's like gold and white. I want something different, but I'm being extra, but that's what I want.
Right. I mean, listen, it creates generational wealth. Obviously it's unfortunate, but the Rockefellers is doing it. I mean, they inherited mad money every year off everybody's death. And it's okay. It's the two things that are guaranteed, taxes and death. And it's all right. You know what I mean? So
I like that.
let's tap in, let's get right, leave your kids something. You know what I mean? Like if you don't have to wear essentials, you can wear on Navy and put that money to the side for them. They're gonna appreciate you more when they're adults and you give them something than when they was like, yo, I used to be dumb fly when I was a kid. Now I'm broke. And my daddy was broke the whole time. It's whack. Your kids are going to remember you for what you left, not for what you did.
But that's how they gain generational wealth, right?
Absolutely.
Like these policies that are just that easy. So real quick, off insurance, term life, especially when you're younger, it's cheaper. It's like
it is.
$250,000. It's like $30 for me a month, right? But you cannot utilize it while you're alive, which sucks. But whole life, which is what I'm about to have now, but it's like you can utilize that while you're alive. So if you're probably paying like $250, $300 a month for a $300,000 policy, but in 5 to I think 10 years you can borrow $50,000 against yourself.
Right.
But your plan is to die anyway.
Be your own bank.
Yeah.
I mean, give that debt to my son. You know what I'm saying? I left him $1 million though. So
you got term?
I got term right now. But
you have whole?
We're gonna get to the whole. But I got the term, I got my father, no life insurance, my mom, no life insurance. So I'm like, bro, like.
See, my grandma told me I have a plot. I have a plot in Pine Lawn, but I told you I want a mausoleum. Is a mausoleum necessary? Yes, because I'm going to be a legacy. But I want a mausoleum. I think it's $100,000 to $500,000. But that pretty much the mausoleum, you could put your whole family inside of that shit.
Right.
That's what I want.
That's a little piece of $1 billion, man. We chasing billions out here. You know
That's
what I mean?
want.
They're gonna be fine. But our last 2 questions.
Yeah.
What would be your message to your younger self?
To my younger self, it would be to stay persistent as you are, stay consistent, but to be more organized. And to I don't know if this is really a message because I don't agree with it, but so the message I've received from people in my life and my family is that I'm trusting and that this is a grimy world. So not everybody is thinks like you or is like you, but I just feel like it's too much work to assume people are bad.
Right.
So you may get hurt. But for me, it's worked. I mean, I've had things I've learned from.
Right.
But to stay persistent and to trust yourself. There's a lot of times where I second guess myself and I already have the answer. I'm asking people the question, but I already know the answer.
Right.
Unknowingly.
Right.
Yeah.
What would be a message to the youth?
To stay diligent, to stay consistent, and to maintain your self-respect.
Love that. So listen, shout out the brands. Who you want to shout out? You called your mother a bitch, so she.
I
so
didn't
she gonna,
say. See,
yeah,
I didn't
so
say
she
that.
Gonna see
I didn't
this.
say that.
Yeah, you did. You're gonna play that back.
See, now you're gonna you're gonna cause havoc.
Listen, you caused it. I'm just saying what you said.
I absolutely did not say that.
We got witnesses in the room. You know what I mean?
I didn't say that.
You know what I mean? But yeah, do your shout outs, do your rollouts.
Okay, cool. Shout out to Ocean Hill Brandy, smoothest brandy. Shout out to the bakery on Bergen, tri-state area. I'm having my colorway reveal October 28th, 12 to 6, 740 Bergen Street at the bakery on Bergen. A vision so sweet, you could almost taste it, right? Shout out to Fab. Shout out to Mr. Chicken. Shout out to anybody that fucked with me and actually seen the vision. And shout out to my creative director, Monique Rebel Jones, and my partner, Andrea Thompson. I love you. And, shout out to God, right? Because you gave me the vision. And
He woke us up.
Like I said, if I could see it, it could be done. So if I imagine it, then it's going to be done.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm with that. I feel like I'm richer. Right?
Feel godlike?
I feel godly.
You feel me?
I mean, I'm feeling godly, you heard? I mean, I can see why you sleep in these shits. You know what I mean? You go to the shower, he's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You should get some windshield wipers, like, in the shower, you wouldn't even know. You know what I mean? But listen, make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Shout out to the family. Kleechi brand, global, $1 billion brand. Shout out to my brother Smart, always here supporting. It's always love. WTF Media Studios. Get right or get lost. We out. Peace and love, world. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, support the channel, show your love. You know what I'm saying? We have a great conversation week in and week out. You never know who's coming. You never know what we're going to do. But at the end of the day, it's all about peace and love. So make sure you like, subscribe, comment.